Alright, so I made a decision the other day. I was going to basically do a LS swap on my 70 Monte Carlo. Went to the local junkyard. I found something I wanted to do a little bit better. That is a Gen 6 454 that I paid $450 for. The reasoning for so is this LS I got on a freebie. Well, not so great. If you look in there, I've been letting them sit with transmission fluid for quite a while. And quite frankly, they're chunky. So the plan for the day, get the car unloaded, get everything taken care of. Well, not car, the engine actually. Get it unloaded, try to get it stripped down. As you can tell, I'm not just sweating because I'm chunky, it's hot. And then hopefully try to get it in the car. Probably not going to get it in the car today. We'll see what we can do though. Now, what I plan to do is put y'all on a time-lapse video of me getting it unloaded and get everything done, and hopefully that will all go smooth. So we're going to cut to that. Yeah, those were definitely seat belts holding this thing on. So, if you've ever been to pick a parts or anything like that, you'd know most of the time when they pull it for you, because I did not have time to pull this one, and there was no way in hell I was going to let this go, so I paid a little extra. You know, they're not going to give you change or anything nice. They're gonna give you seat belts. Shit works. So, here's the plan for it. I'm going to go ahead, take it apart, get all the seatbelt stuff off, look at everything. I've actually got some Big Block parts for it. that I actually thought were small block parts because I never messed with a big block before, and I've never thought I would. I've always been a small block guy. Basically, I got a water pump, a couple of parts. The thing I got to get is an intake manifold. I'm not running this junky EFI. These motors came from the factory rated at 290 on horsepower, about 410 on torque for pound-feet of torque. That's not good enough for me. So between an intake, carburetor, a set of long tube headers, and a basic cam, I'm thinking I can roughly get about 370 out of it. That'll be fine for me, but the torque will be what I'm mostly worried about. It's a big car for Monte Carlo. A-bodies aren't really small body cars. They're not really what you would call a pony car. They're more of your, they're big body. So if it was Camaro or anything like that, I'd probably be okay with this, but not for this. I want it to be powerful, yet reliable. I don't know how reliable I can get one of these. I've, again, never messed with one. Let's see. So, parts that got to come off. Sold. Gary engine. That's nice. Water pump actually looks relatively newer. Might be able to keep that, but I got a fresh one over there. The heads, I don't know anything about big blocks. Again, I keep saying that. I think the heads, these are oval port heads. They're not the peanut style heads. The tops, I think I can run old school valve covers because I'm not a fan of these. They look very, very boring. Really just don't know what I want to do with it yet. Definitely got to get the seatbelts off first and then go from there and get it up. Get the LS off the stand. Hopefully my stand can hold a big block weight. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. Hopefully I don't crush anything important like myself. And we'll go from there. I'm going to cut and get to some more of the important stuff. Taking the intake off, looking at the injector, seeing how all that went. The intake's unbolted, so somebody definitely got to this right before I did. I don't know if maybe they were looking to get the injectors out. I have not seen it. There's one of the bolts right here just sitting there. So we'll find out, and whenever I get it off, I will go from there and bring y'all back. Alright, it's been a couple hours. I got most of it apart, top end wise. I've got the driver's side, or I'm sorry, passenger side to do on the exhaust manifolds. It's hot. So, as you can see, we got the intake manifold off. A little bit of ugh, but honestly, it's kind of what I expected. Intake was surprisingly all there except for 4 injectors on the passenger side. Looks like whoever got to it before me, that's all they ever got a chance to steal off, was 4 injectors. On the exhaust manifolds on the driver front, cylinder 1 and cylinder 3 are both broke off. Damn. Not that bad. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get the valve covers popped off, take a look at all that. Possibly the heads off. I was thinking I was going to put it in the car, but I wanted to just take a look at it first, and something told me to look. It's not bad. So, got a couple little rust, like it's been sitting there for a minute, but honestly, that's not a lot. Like, that's really not bad at all. The water jackets are kind of goof, but what do you expect? If you expect any more, I mean, let's be real here. You're kind of over-expecting. The intake manifolds are, or not intake, I'm sorry, the exhaust manifolds, every one of them is cracked. I don't know if this is like a regular deal, but you can see it's like they get over-torqued, and they all crack, and all of them are like that over here in our giant pile of parts. Well, could be worse. Could be better. I'm having flashbacks of LS, but it's really not as bad as I'm hoping. Or I'm not hoping. I'm never hoping it's bad, but I'm expecting it to be bad. I'll figure it out. Can't be that bad. I'll pull y'all back whenever I got the valve covers off the heads, and we'll go from there. Alright, got the valve covers off. Looking at everything, they're in great condition. Everything's looking good. Nothing's loose, nothing's overdone. not a lot of buildup in this engine. I was expecting to find a lot of just grease buildup and everything. So that baffle tray that you can see in the, before I cut again, I'd actually scraped off some little bit. You can see it's really not thick whatsoever. I was expecting to see a lot, and I didn't realize that that would come off. I don't know why I called it baffle tray. I don't actually know what that thing is. In here, this is, again, a Gen 6 454, which means it is a roller engine. It means I can do a cam swap, and I don't have to do a huge braking process. I can just throw one in there, add a little bit of thing to it, drive it easy. Should be fine. And then I could just, romp on it whenever, after I change the oil. But, again, clean, very clean, nothing loose, everything I needed to be, and I can't complain. So, heads will come off, I'll cut back to that, and then water pump, and that'll be it. That's all I'm doing today. So, thought it over. It's been about an hour and a half since my last cut off. I'm going to do what's not recommended. I'm not going to pull the heads off. I'm not going to look at the pistons. I'm not going to look at anything. I'm going to wing it. I looked at it, looked through the holes on the heads, looked at everything. There's no trash sitting in there. There's nothing. It's a really clean motor. So, I'm going to live by my motto, and I'm going to call this one good. Good enough. It's got that GED degree. I'll give it that. Get that good enough degree. And as far as I'm considered, I'm going to start ordering parts. I'm going to plop this thing together, hopefully as soon as I can. Probably going to be a month or two, because, well, let's be real here. I'm not rich. And hopefully I can get everything I need done and get it put together and get in the car and get this thing running, because I don't know about y'all, but I can't stand to look at a car that just sits there. It's the easiest way for me to want to sell it, is it just sitting. And if it continues to sit, I get tired of it. So I've forced myself to buy an engine that I had no plans of doing. Put a whole bunch of money into a car that still doesn't run. I am got way too much deep into this thing. And I'm tired of it. So I'm going back to what I usually would do. Any of my people that know me from like just being friends, know that I will throw a car together for like $1,000. I have to pay maybe $500-600 for it. Throw it together, drive it for a couple of years, flip it, do it all over again. The Monte Carlo has always just been what I've wanted to do. It's always been one of my dream cars. This is actually going to get, once I get it all done, get it all running and quote-unquote reliable, I'm going to paint it up and make it look like the Tokyo Drift Fast and Furious car. That's my plan. That's what made me really want a Monte Carlo my whole life. I'm sitting here looking at it while I'm talking. And that's what I want. So, the only way I'm going to do that is getting out here, busting my ass, and getting out here and sweating my ass off. So, I encourage y'all to do the same if you've got a project you want or anything you want to do, whether it be cars, whether it be whatever. Get out there, give it what you got, get it going, have some fun with it. Ain't got to be good, it's just got to be good enough. I'm going to end this one, and I'll bring y'all back whenever I do something else with it. Could be a month from now, couldn't be not, but just let me know if you like it. If you do, put it in the comments down below, and subscribe, please. I would really appreciate it. It would help me out, and try to make me a little bit more popular. So, we'll see what we can do from there.